Hi, I'm Dave Nelson, one of the instructors in the Civil Engineering Department. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself just to get you introduced to the program. Here's some of the classes that I teach or that I have taught at Tech. Primarily, I work with the Railroad Engineering program with Posse Laudala. I have taught railroad engineering and the introduction to rail transportation courses several times. I've also done transportation engineering and the other courses you can see here on the screen. My favorite one, Civil Engineering Senior Design. I love to teach that class. I like to try and find really good projects for students to work on. A little bit of background. I am a troll, born and raised below the bridge, grew up in Bear Lake, Michigan. You can see a picture there of the lake and then a picture of the downtown from my hometown. Pretty small town, about 350 people. Went to the local high school. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. After I graduated from high school, I did attend 3 different universities in the first 3 years after high school. Went to Michigan State for a year, to Ferris State College for a year, and then to Northwestern Michigan College in Traverse City for part of a year before I ran out of money and enlisted in the Air Force. The Air Force, in their infinite wisdom, decided to send me back to school to get a civil engineering degree. Completed that in 1981 at the University of Illinois, and then continued to serve with the Air Force through a 20-year career. While I was in the Air Force, I picked up an engineering master's degree, master's in mechanical engineering from Boston University when I was stationed overseas in Germany. And after I got out of the Air Force, I picked up another master's degree in teaching from the University of Maine in 2004. I also picked up about 15 grad credits in engineering management. And the last time I checked, I think I have college credits with something like 10 or so different universities or colleges. I'm a licensed professional engineer, picked up my PE in Colorado in 1989. A little more background. While I was in the Air Force, here's kind of a list of some of the engineering jobs that I had. Base level at Tyndall Air Force Base, started out programming. That's the basic planning, the introductory planning for any kind of project that they did. Collected information about what needed to be done and what it needed to look like. I also worked in the design shop there and then finished up my tour there as the chief of construction management. I was also the base pavements engineer for 2 of the 3 years that I was at Tyndall Air Force Base. From there, I went to Thule, Greenland, fun place, 750 miles north of the Arctic Circle. While I was there, I was responsible for evaluating the planning and design functions for the base. The base was maintained by a Danish contractor because it is a Danish territory. Spent 3 months, not 3 months, but about 2 months, 2 full months of my time at Thule in Copenhagen doing design reviews. So I had a really good time when I was there. Talk to me about it sometime. You can get some more details about that. From there, I went to Lowry Air Force Base in Colorado, worked as the chief of design for the first part of the time that I was there. The civilian chief of the section had retired. They were in the process of hiring a new chief of design. It's typically a civilian position. And I filled in as the chief for about 6 months while they worked on hiring that new civilian. Not too many people can say at that age I'd been in the engineering career field for about a little over 4 years at that point, and I was running a design shop. From there, I became the chief of requirements, and I was responsible for the planning and material procurement for the base maintenance and repair activities. Basically, an Air Force base is like a small city, so I was responsible for taking care of getting things planned and constructed across the base there in Lowry. From there, I went to Germany, was the NATO program manager, responsible for about $600 million worth of NATO construction in the northern part of Europe. That was in Norway, Denmark, and the northern part of Germany. Had a great time there. Most of my, had a really good time with the assignments that I had in the Air Force. From there, I finished off my Air Force career at the Air Force Academy, where I started as an instructor and finished as an assistant professor. I was the course director for Airborne Planning and Design, basically a community planning program for Air Force bases. I was also the head of the practices track, which was the construction management functions, construction estimating, surveying, engineering fundamentals. I also taught fluid mechanics and air pollution control design while I was there. From the Air Force after that, and went and worked for the Maine Department of Transportation. While I was there, I was the office engineer for the Office of Passenger Transportation. As the slide says, it's a one deep position responsible for all the engineering activities that were not highway and were passenger. Airport construction projects, ferry service support. You can see the picture of the boat down in the bottom of this picture. The Captain E. Frank Thompson. I was the project manager for designing that. Passenger rail activities, Downeaster service from Portland to Boston. I was part of the team that got that put back together again. Bicycle and pedestrian facilities, and also bus systems. I was the project manager for the Island Explorer and for the Acadia National Park projects, mostly for the Bangor Trenton Transportation Alternative Study. After I finished with Maine Department of Transportation, I decided to go back to school and pick up a teaching degree. From there, I taught high school math and science, starting out at Erskine Academy, South China, Maine, then went to Interlakes High School in Meredith, New Hampshire, did some work with the Virtual Learning Academy in Exeter, New Hampshire. So a long time ago, I was working with some of this virtual stuff that we're doing this semester. And Franklin High School and Franklin, New Hampshire, all the places that I taught high school. I was also a college adjunct professor, Lakes Region Community College in Laconia, and with Southern New Hampshire University. So that's a little bit about me. Looking forward to meeting you in classes and getting to know you a little bit better. Thanks.